Peace, peace. Y'all know what it is. Now is the vibe break. Want to share this last time, or what I feel is this last time, at least getting this depth into this story, of my experience facing the devil. And, basically for me right now, it's like that energy of letting it go, you know what I'm saying? But what has been coming up a lot is for me to share the story so others can be aware of how to, deal with this energy. Now, I have made videos to help the situation, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go through that right now before even going deeper. So first, this Archon Awareness Protection podcast, is connected to, this energy. And also when I did this video, Transmuting the Manifestation of Inner Demons, Duality, and Division, this basically gets into it, and that's why I posted that book, by Napoleon Hill. And again, within the 27-minute mark of this video, you got solutions, because that's one thing with dealing with any type of energy, of this nature. You want to have solutions. You don't want to just be told like, hey, there's a monster inside of you, or there's a monster under your bed, but I don't know, what to do with it. I mean, to each his own, but again, for the most part, because I consider myself to want to be effective genuinely, I share the solutions. But so this video right here, let's see, this one has a connection to it, the subliminal manipulation or subliminal poppets, unintentional gaslighting, spiritual processes are conscious beings being inside a lesson loop, the truth about energy vamping and psychic attacks, this one, real psychic attack prevention, method of self-awareness, and showing you where, this is where the story began for me, in essence. So when I made this live right here, live 28, about reflections in the house of mirrors, and being too energetically open. That was on March 19th, 2021. So in essence, I done spoke on this, again, these are the multiple videos I have to help deal with this situation, because again, it's all tied into, the parasitic energies, what some may call also the narc energies, narcissists. But for the most part, again, it's that aspect of source that is stuck in the dual nature, stuck in the space of not feeling that it could, that is not able to get its own energy source, hence the parasitic energy, And when it comes to the quote-unquote devil energy, it's about manipulation, and as I say this with the trickster energy, it's also connected to the trickster energy, but it's not just, like the trickster energy has a positive and a negative to it, but the devil energy definitely is connected to the trickster energy as well, And I think of what it is, it's kind of like that monkey's paw, wishmaster type of energy. I think of the movie Legend with Tom Cruise. It had basically the devil depicted with the horns and stuff like this. And again, understanding the holistic aspect of it, part of that energy, we're dealing with that energy, again, first and foremost within our internal experience, just by having a bodysuit and the ego, So you do have an individual, experience in this realm. You know what I'm saying? It's a dual realm, regardless of how much we're aware of the wholeness. But that's the thing, hence why, we're becoming aware of loving ourselves, caring for ourselves, making sure our needs is met so we don't have to manipulate others. Because that's the thing, if we don't feel our needs are met, then we go into, manipulative behaviors, you know what I'm saying? So, it's circled around that form of psychology. And again, all of this is connected, whether it's mythology, psychology, anatomy, it's all connected. It's not just one perspective that's true, it's all of them together that make the objective truth of the whole situation. But, because right now a lot of people, especially moving through the Scorpio energy, where we're in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius now, it's like, all right, I done dove deep. I done got stung by the scorpion secrets, you know what I'm saying? The secretions from the scorpion tail. And now I'm moving into the Sagittarius energy, of learning, now I could shoot my arrow, out and be brave, and, and also, it's connected with Jupiter, expansion, spiritual, like what's our spiritual views, things of this nature. But again, sharing right now, because, may still have a little bit of that energy from that Scorpio season, exposing these secrets, because again, the reality of it is, a lot of beings are going to become more aware of this energy, and again, it's a balance, it's a thin line between, and let me just go back to this, it's a thin line between, again, like unconditionally loving, again, doing shadow work, unconditionally loving the unaccepted aspects of ourselves. But again, just because I unconditionally love the part of me that used to drink 40 ounces and do toxic things doesn't mean I have to go into doing that behavior in order to love that part of me. You know what I'm saying? And just remembering, again, like, I don't have to, quote unquote, hate, it's not about being against the devil, because then you again, that's playing into the hands, that's the division, it's like, oh, me against the devil, and this is not what this video or any of these videos are for, because again, I explain that in these videos. But again, just right now while I'm here, it's not about trying to look for no scapegoat outside of you, because again, whenever you go to blame something outside of you, and in essence, that's a part of like what, the devil energy may represent. It's like the universe was like, all right, this part of my being is not me. You know what I'm saying? This is also in Full Metal Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? Anybody familiar with anime? Where the little, this little black dot, also represent knowledge, or dot. You know what I'm saying? The black dot, you know what I'm saying? The no thing going on in human experience, and also the Yadala brought energy. But basically where, in Full Metal Alchemist, basically he got rid of his 7 sin, what they call the 7 deadly sins: gluttony, envy, wrath, pride, to name a few. Again, you could do your research on that, but he basically removed those energies from his psyche to come off as perfect or to be better. And that's another thing that to be aware of, when doing your inner work and dealing with yourself right now. Is like not trying to be a perfectionist, and there's no coincidence why archetypically, the zodiac archetypes, Capricorn connected to the devil energy, because the Capricorns may have a sense of always trying to be perfect, and perfect things, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I gotta be the best, so I gotta be, what some may deem perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that may be, a very key and tough, thing to move through. And I say tough, again, you want to affirm that you could, work through the energy, but, just knowing that sometimes it can get tough, it's not being fake about it, honestly, it can be tough, but, being optimistic that you could move through this energy and work through this energy. But again, I'm just doing this video because it's one of those moments where I kept like putting it to the side, like now I'm just almost feeling like I'm just reactivating the energy, by talking on it. And it was like, no, some people may be dealing with this energy, especially you taking psychedelics, because a part of my experience with this, and just to kind of dip into the story a little bit, this was when I was in LA, and again, no good or bad, right or wrong, it's awareness, I ain't I ain't being naive about it, but it's like no blame, because again, and bringing it back there, no external blame, because if I'm blaming something for what's going on inside of me, then I am creating a double or duality or a devil, you know what I'm saying, or feeding into that energy, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, in LA, what I'm saying, City of Angels, and this is also why I made these videos also about like maybe I could pull that up while I'm talking about it, like about the nut house and like trying to seem crazy for bringing this up. And this was also in the show Lucifer. Whenever Lucifer showed his true form to people, like they would like freak out and go crazy in essence, you know what I'm saying. And I think about like, when I was in LA, just looking at the houses, people, and just that whole situation, it's like a similar connection. But basically, and so many, just keeping it short, but why I want to speak on this, because it had a part that was real, eye-opening and ritualistic in its essence. And this was, again in LA, and I happened to have a shroom trip, with two people. And on this shroom trip, I just made a decision to, remove myself from, connecting with somebody. But here's where, again, where I had to realize like this unique balance. It's like, I was being a vibrational match to this energy because what's another place this energy dwells in. And again, because it's about trying to, whether you subtly manipulative or overtly manipulative, but also like trying to take shortcuts. And in order to take most shortcuts, in essence, you may have to be manipulative, or you're like trying to skip some important steps, you know what I'm saying. But because again, having to call out the internal energies for what it is first and foremost, without blaming. But I end up taking the shrooms, and I'm just sitting there laughing. And another thing too, and this where I realized this was in Harry Potter, with with laughing in the face of fear, you know what I'm saying, when the teacher was teaching them the spells in order to like turn something very, something that was very, very fearful, those little soul-sucking beings, to like, turn it into something that you could laugh at, you know what I'm saying. Because I was laughing a lot during the trip, and it was almost like my inner being was like protecting me in essence. But in the trip, it got to the point, where, let's just say for, again, that because it's not one person, this energy could be channeled through multiple people, depending on what's their energy, you know what I'm saying. But one of the people was channeling, this quote unquote devil energy. And, it basically passively aggressively made a threat towards my, my being in connection with me doing videos. It was like, oh, well, what if Universal come up missing, or what if Universal like overdosed on this drug, that nobody would know what's up, you know what I'm saying? Or it basically, that was being said, by the people I was tripping with, quote unquote, by the people I was on a psychedelic journey with, and it basically, again, in so many words, like, and this where it, again, like, the toughness with dealing with that situation was having to realize that I was a vibrational match to attract it, but it still wasn't a, some form of a, it was an external representation of me attacking myself. I was gaslighting myself. I was manipulating myself. So I manifested intense psychedelic trip where somebody was doing that, trying to, attack me in so many words. But again, you have to keep it in perspective, because that's the main thing that helped me to continuously, transmute that energy, was not blaming, but, basically, again, even down to the, even bringing up like, oh, well, if universal frequencies come up missing, it's going to be that's too much, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be too much attention. It's going to be too obvious that there was some foul play in this situation if he was just to, transition while in LA right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk is straight for, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you, you know what I'm saying? And so as I picked up on this energy, I'm like, wait, like, what the fuck? And so, and you know how tough it is sometimes in the middle of a trip to like leave out from where you started the trip, like, if you take your shrooms in a certain spot in nature, it'd be very tough to get up and like walk away from that spot you in, or you taking it in a certain house, it's very tough to walk out, again, because you've been in the cycle of sitting there. Because again, psychedelics for the most part, it's the loops unfolding in front of you, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a looping situation, you go from a state of, and when it's with other people too, it's like different people going through their little situation, and then they get back to you, you know what I'm saying, and what you dealing with. And so I leave out of the spot, and I'm walking outside, and this is close to the, close to the downtown area. And I'm walking, downtown, and it's just this energy of, also like certain beings trying to make it seem like, something was going to happen to me, like I'd be walking and people like would cross the street as if, you know what I'm saying, like as if I was, carrying some type of harmful energy. And I kept knowing like, man, this shit is all some mind games, because that's like the main thing is like it trying to break you mentally, you know what I'm saying, as well as spiritually, and kind of like break your confidence, because again, it's trying to get you to be like it, in the sense of like, to almost make you be like, like fuck love, fuck source, like what the fuck is going, you know what I'm saying, like to almost get you into that state of not, what's the word for not, almost like to not have faith in that sense, for lack of a better word, to not have confidence in your spiritual being and power, you know what I'm saying, and abilities to, generate energy, you know what I'm saying, in a healthy manner. And, fast forward, so I'm walking and I come across, it just so happened they was filming a movie, and I had to walk close to where the movie set was. And that's when things was really feeling like, almost like ritualistic. And again, this movie energy, again, no good or bad, right or wrong, it's connected to the underworld energy. Because again, I watch movie, again, we're connected to these energies in essence, being in this experience, just kind of like how we say we're in this world but not of it. But the underworld energy, because it's the subconscious, it's the deep depths of the subconscious. And the subconscious, again, is mimicked by movies. Again, you go into a dark room and watch the screen just like you're dreaming. And movies mimic, dreams in essence, you know what I'm saying? It could tell, and trips in essence, because it could tell a story that takes place over 1,000 years. It could tell that story in 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like a dream, you be like, oh, I grew up from when I was 1 year old to 5 years old, and in the dream. But long story short, I see how that's but anyway, so that was a connection to it. Again, walking by that movie set, you know what I'm saying? SET, like the God set. And again, no good, bad, no right or wrong, just awareness. And so, it was showing me that connection. And then, so I came down from that trip, and the next day I knew, like, all right, I gotta leave. I gotta get the fuck from around here. And speaking of that, that's where this video comes in right here again, because I made this one, while in the process of leaving, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, because it's another thing too, the way I did this video, and I was always realizing that, again, like this energy was, trying to provoke a vibe of like making it, like almost trying to make you doubt yourself when bringing up this information or exposing it, where you almost feeling like something wrong with y'all, again, like you're crazy for exposing it, you know what I'm saying? Because, some of my videos from this point on, I had to realize to like calm that energy down. And like, I was doing a lot of grounding, a lot of meditation, and a lot of energies of like maintaining that balance of like, not blaming nothing outside of me, but still knowing that something was up, you know what I'm saying? And before I left, last part, and this what made me, have to become more aware of like how to deal with the inner trickster energy and the difference between the malevolent and benevolent energy, or the trickster energy. And, on my way out, this is the first time ever, like I, in essence, came across the Poppit energy, almost in physical form, in essence, in so many words, where, it was no doubt, from a lot of people wearing black and red, and, the tobacco or smoking the cigarettes, and just, you could just, anybody who took a trip, what you're dealing with in those moments, you know what I'm saying? It's not no coincidence, so to speak. But and that energy, when that showed up, and it had like a kind of, almost like an energy of, like in so many words, like trying to, threaten. To it was like a passive aggressive, form of like, threatening, or just kind of almost like a check down, like a goon type of energy, like a quiet goon that was like, I'm just showing you my presence, but again, the people who it was showing up in, it wasn't from a loving, caring space, and they were either doing or saying something that was trying to, again, like the Subliminal Poppit video, it's like they was doing something or saying something to kind of, trigger me, into being fearful. You know, it's basically like fear mongering, like passive aggressive, subtle fear mongering. And again, this goes into the Archon awareness protection video and the Subliminal Poppit. But you know, and that's when I started, you know, and I came across this book that said that, you know, that again, treating spirits, you know, these deities, you know, whatever, quote unquote, you know, treating it with the energy like you would treat a friend. Like if a friend seems like it's trying to, you know, if one of your friends seem like they're trying to harm you, or a family member seem like they're trying to harm you, you know, you stop messing with that friend, you know what I'm saying? Or stop messing with that family member, you know. And if they really love you, you know what I'm saying, they'll apologize, or, you know, do something that'll show you that it's no problem. But when I, you know, detached from this energy a lot more, it almost like got irate, you know, and upset in essence, you know. Now, as I'm saying this, you know, again, this is not, you know, quote unquote, the devil's in the details. I'm not saying that, you know, this, you know, the Legba aspect is, you know, straight up bad or evil, you know, in that sense of it. You know, again, because it's a part of these energies, you know, we have to, you know, in so many words, you know, it's with integration, you know, you got to integrate these things within, but not the toxic parasitic perspective, but understanding that, you know, again, you have the capability to be a trickster, you know, you have the capability to harm somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because again, even upon our own growth, you know, when we're being toxically addicted to something, that was us harming ourselves, you know. So again, it starts with our own self-harm, or, you know, our own mental, you know, energy putting us in harm's way, you know, our own, you know, again, like subconscious programming that we grew up with that, you know, basically, again, made us a vibrational match to external people, places, and things like trying to harm us, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, again, and what I also want to say right now, you know, again, with this being said in the closing, you know, like having to apologize to any beings, for one, you know, it's not no victim mode stuff. I'm not a victim, because it's another part to it, you know, as well. Like, you cannot be a victim in this situation. You do have to hold yourself accountable for what you're attracting and dealing with. But also, you know, again, like, just wanting to apologize to anybody that I may have harmed during this situation. Because what I also realized is, like, after going through this, you kind of almost, you know, a part of that energy is kind of in your energy field, and you may even do things in connection with this energy, you know what I'm saying? Now, again, you know, it's just not externalizing it. It's just, you know, seeing that it again was almost like, just, let's just say, it's activated in my energy field. You know, shout out to, should I say, much love to the sister Mook. You know, she brought up also, like, again, like this Archon energy, you know what I'm saying? And she made the comparison to, like, speaking Slytherin, like off of Harry Potter, you know what I'm saying? You know, and the Lord Voldemort energy, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you start to learn how to speak Slytherin, for lack of a better word, you know what I'm saying, after dealing with this energy. And also, it's kind of like that energy is, you know, kind of more present in your energy field after that situation. So again, like, I got all the solutions in these videos I showed you, you know, and I'll put the link below. But, you know, definitely want to share this. And again, this ain't no victim mode stuff. This ain't no video to, like, get nobody to feel sorry for me. This is not about that. This is about awareness for anybody who may have dealt with this or dealing with this energy, you know. And may need to hear some solutions again on how to deal with this. And I got solutions in this podcast, my Anchor podcast. And also, again, we see solutions. And some of this work, again, may not just disappear overnight, per se. But if you stay consistent and persistent and resilient in your ability to, trust in your, the source within, trust in your inner being, you know what I'm saying? You'll make it through for sure. And again, it's a thin line between, that's why I was like feeling some kind of way about even doing this video, because it's like almost feeling like I'm just kind of keeping this energy active. But this is kind of like that last time, like, hey, just share, kind of bring it in a full circle, because again, this is going to help a lot of people, a lot of beings that have dealt with this or may be dealing with this. And I'm also doing it because I want to be 100 with it, because I somewhat through all these videos I showed you, I never just really said that that's what it is or what I dealt with, but now I'm letting it be known, you know what I'm saying? But again, definitely want to raise awareness, because right now that's key. Like, it's no longer, it's a balance of being accountable but still being childlike and enjoying life. It's not to take things too serious to where, what I'm saying, or it's not to close your heart chakra, because again, that's all this, in essence, trying to promote or trigger, what I'm saying, these little inner energies that end up also forming externally, because that's the name of the game. It's like, I got the videos for that, but yeah, check out these videos, with the solutions. Understand, you have to do the shadow work, because if you're not doing your shadow work, then in essence, like, that's kind of like where, from your internal world to your external world, internally you're still not accepting certain aspects of yourself, then certain energies will move through those that energy signature of the thing that you don't want to accept in yourself, is how you'll be, approached externally, for lack of a better word. So definitely want to, make sure you're working on that. But now it's to vibrate. Y'all know what it is. I trust that, again, this reaches the people that is meant to reach. This video ain't for everybody, so again. And as I brought up all the different names and situations, or should I say like names as far as like, like the Legba energy or the devil, you know what I'm saying? Again, this doesn't mean that people who speak on these names are, you know what I'm saying? Like, just pay attention to the energies, you know what I'm saying? And again, if you watch these, videos, and understand, again, it's something that's trying to get you to, make yourself look crazy, trying to get you to be a loner all the time, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get you to close down your heart chakra, trying to get you to be manipulative, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, this is internally first, you're dealing with stuff that's, trying to get you on that wavelength. So just because somebody may bring up these names or, these gods or deities or entities, egregors, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't, make it automatically bad, you know what I'm saying? So again, you're not going on no witch hunt, or quote unquote witch hunt, but you're not, again, looking for no scapegoat, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where all that comes from as well, you know, like trying, you know, turn the Capricorn into the devil, the scapegoat, you know what I'm saying? It's all connected. It was not to try to turn anything into a scapegoat, aka, you know, blaming your own inner, you know what I'm saying, toxicity on something outside of you. Because then, you know, again, the imagination is real. If you're imagining that it's outside of you, then you're going to create an experience, you know, that matches that outside of you. And I don't think you really want that. You know what I'm saying? Most of us not trying to, you know, create that experience for us externally. You know, but, you know, because it's also tied to, you know, again, like the ghost of the past toxic situations that in essence becomes like ghosts trying to haunt our now moment, you know, as well. But again, you know, for me, this is like a release. I feel like I can move forward and never have to talk about this again. You know what I'm saying? On this note, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know, again, like being present, moving forward. And again, sharing to, you know, benefit others, you know what I'm saying, that may have been through this or going through this. But now it's the vibrate. Y'all know what it is. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past right now. And again, all these videos lined up for you. And just to bring up one before I go. Like it's also these videos that I was doing was also kind of like a little tie into that too. And also one more. Like, you know, again, solutions. Healthy tips for anxiety, because a part of, you know, manipulation in any form or fashion may move through your nervous system, move through your electrical system, you know, and magnesium helps with that, you know what I'm saying? So that's something to be aware of too. In any videos that I may have done on like, well, no, the ones that I showed is the ones that I just caught that, you know. This is also, again, like trying to create a split in your personality. So to create a duality in your personality. And this is also how mind control comes about, when you split in your personality. And, you know, the person who's trying to manipulate you or control, you know, the energy that's trying to, you know, because again, it starts within a certain little microcosmic energies that's trying to get the inner vessel to be a host for this energy. And then it also, you know, again, attracts certain external experiences, you know. But again, like with the whole split thing, you know, when you create a split personality, you know, you could watch Manchurian Candidate. This was also, again, on the movie Mulholland Drive, which is very, very, you know, creepy in the sense of, you know, not nothing to be scared of, but it definitely, you know, because I made a video about how some movies almost like are a spell in essence. You know, you got to be careful and aware with watching certain things and what you're taking and consuming, because some movies are just straight up rituals to go along with, you know, this type of energy, to even, you know, make you more paranoid or fear-mongered. So you also got to be aware of that, you know. But again, peace. Now's the vibrate, you know what I'm saying? Not too far in the future, not too far in the past right now, because that's one thing that I had to realize, you know, before going, is, you know, if I was feeling like I was scared to share, then that's still saying that something, I'm, again, feeling like something externally, and it's like, all right, ain't nothing externally gonna stop me from saying what I need to say, no type of words, no spell of like, oh, it ain't G to tell your story or to expose certain things. Like, fuck that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out here, mentally suffering and all types of shit behind this type of energy. So I definitely want to be a beacon to share. You don't have to share your experience. Again, I'm sharing because I was called to share. Because you don't have to share like on a YouTube platform. You could just share with somebody else, because that's something that in essence it will take, or like to vent. You know what I'm saying? Not just hold it in. Or even if you just gotta journal it out or make a video to yourself, but yeah. Again, now it's a vibrate, not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, peace.